Because the thing with becoming WWE champion or world champion, like your life is never the same. Like you're
Mm.
defined as like WWE champion or world champion for forever. At least in the world of wrestling, in the zeitgeist of WWE.
But like that's the thing. Like when you're a kid and you're watching, there's no greater goal in terms of like if you ever wanted to be a wrestler, than
Yep.
that. But then on the flip side, because I'm wondering what the sort of combination of like feeling elated to have it, but then also feeling like the pressure or the
Yeah.
weight of because that also means that when you're the guy, they they're giving you the ball, right?
Yeah.
Of course, of course. No, the pressure is very real. That's what I was saying. Like the next morning, it like kicked in. Like, oh my god! Like because that day I had to wrestle, and the next day, and the next day, and now you're in the main events, and you're faced with a lot of criticism when you're in a top spot. You can't let that get to
Yeah.
you. You have to main event pay-per-views. You do media, interviews all the time. Now you're traveling just with the title, representing. You're basically the face of the brand. So it's a lot of pressure, but I was ready for that moment. Like I was committed. That's why after I won the title, there was no celebration. Like I need to sleep. Like I can't change anything. Like whatever got me to this spot in the last 10 months that I've been doing. Like
Yeah.
if anything, I gotta even push further and do even more. Do really focus on the things that I have been neglecting or kind of been lazy to do.
So
So
in that 10 months when you were training that aggressively, was that the hardest training you've ever done in your life? Or did you let
so the
yourself go
thing is
after the
this,
champion? Like how does that all work for
yeah.
you? Yeah.
So the thing with things being difficult or hard is just a mindset, right? It's
Right.
hard because you tell yourself it's hard, but things become a routine, and when it's a routine, it's a habit. You don't have to think about it, right? I
Yeah.
just have to stay focused. Just the hardest thing is distractions. Just staying focused, keeping the distractions, because of course everybody's your friend. Everybody wants to hang out. Everybody wants to do this. You're invited to this and that, but you got to kind of narrow it down and look at things in a way like, is this thing going to help me or is this thing going to hurt me? Is this thing going to get me to my goal or take me away from my goal? So I think that's the hard part. Training, I've been training my whole life. I love training.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard training, but when you see the results, it's where like
Yeah.
you want to train even harder.
Yeah.
So no dating at this time, I guess, right? No, no girls, no
Uh,
distraction.
no dating. That's a funny story. I didn't start getting serious with my now wife or dating her until I got injured. I got injured. I had knee surgery. I was home for like 9 months. Then the pandemic hit, and I was home for another year, like really without traveling. So I think that's what really helped the relationship, because that
And then
busy
you
of
meet
a
a Patel
yeah. Then you meet
And
a
then
Patel,
you
exactly, at a pool party. The rest is
at a
at a
history.
pool
pool party.
party.
So was
Yeah,
this
yeah, at a
taken at
pool
a
party.
pool? Was this shot taken at a pool?
Look at
No,
this
this
one
was at
go.
our This is actually in Calgary. We got married in Calgary, in Canada. She's actually Canadian
Nice.
too. She's born in Toronto, but she moved to Ocala, Florida when she was 7. But coincidentally,
Yeah.
she's Canadian too, so we got married in Canada.
That's
Nice.
amazing. So how is wedding bliss? It's good?
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
the best time. The wedding was really like the greatest thing, better than the WWE Championship, in case she's listening.
There you go.
That's the right
What you mentioned was
answer.
that was the professional peak, but on a personal level, that was definitely the
Yeah, the
greatest
ring
thing.
Yeah.
the ring tops the belt. The ring
Yeah.
tops the belt. Right?
And the transition now, right,
Yes.
into the wedding world, but also your independence. Like, how are you
Yep.
feeling at this moment? I mean, on this day and where you are right now in your career.
Yeah, I feel great. I actually I was with WWE for several years, as you mentioned, on and
Yeah.
off. From 2010, I got signed, 20 to 2024 with WWE Wrestling, and even before that, since 2004, all I've known since I'm 18, like my whole adult life, all I know is wrestling. So
Mm.
now I'm kind of enjoying life a little bit. I'm not as strict on my
I
diet.
love that.
Not if I want to take a day off from training, I take it off. I only really wrestle where I want to wrestle. Like I say no to a lot of places, and just focusing on my personal life. I got a few things outside of wrestling business stuff that I've been doing for even just throughout my WWE career. So I kind of want to focus on that, and
Yeah.
just I'm just having fun really, and then whatever is the
That's the
future is the
best.
future. Yeah, yeah. I was
Fun is
fortunate like
fun.
this. Yeah, this last run I had with WWE when I came back in 2016 to 2024. it wasn't just a change in mentality, everything physical. It was also on like a financial level, like learning how to invest, learning business,
Right.
leveraging everything, all my connections that I'm making in WWE to how can I now kind of pivot into the real world after pro wrestling. Because I think a lot of wrestlers struggle with this. Like
Hmm.
your
Mm.
identity is just a wrestler and you focus on one thing for so many years and all of a sudden you have an injury or you get older and you didn't develop any life skills, and it's a tough pill to swallow for others have an easier transition. But I've talked to other wrestlers, former wrestlers, retired wrestlers, and they all tell me like it
Yeah.
takes a couple years like to
So,
kind of
hold on.
So curious.
My question is because you just said the word struggle and you have such a positive energy. I feel like you know how to pick up and go and like, okay, this happened, I'm going to move on. But was there a period in your career where you just felt almost at a low, but you were able to pull yourself out of it? Was there at that moment for you?
Yeah, that moment was in 2014 to right before I got signed back in 2016 for that year, almost 2 years that I was away from WWE. Because you come out of WWE and you can stay busy on the independents, just because
Yeah.
you have that WWE name and recognition. But that like unless you do things to stay relevant, or because I wasn't that high of a position in WWE at that point. I was in 3MB. Now, being a former WWE champion, things are different. I can be as busy as I want to be, and there's many opportunities. But and the wrestling world right now is super super busy. It's very hot. Like
Yeah.
Mm.
business is at an all time high. But at that time, I was in like a slump. I wasn't focused. I was way out of shape. Really not taking ownership. That was the main thing. I was playing the blame game, and then I realized like, okay, I got to do something else with my life, or
Yeah.
I got to go all in on myself on wrestling.
I think about just going back to what you're talking about and the life of a wrestler after the business is done for them. I think about DDP and what DDP has been able to build in terms of like this whole brand and this whole thing about bringing wrestlers in and kind of like rejuvenating not them to get back in the ring necessarily, but their life, like making a good life for these guys, for the boys. Do you think that there is at some time down the line when you're done with being in the ring, sort of like a version of that, but for financial literacy and how to live, how to live a fulfilling life after all that stuff is done that you could lead?
First I have to, I need to become before I can, guide others. But definitely, it's just giving back in any way is a huge a part of what I want to do in the future. Whether that's mentorship with younger wrestlers, or as you met, it would be great to be able to help other wrestlers, just like DDP does. He does great work. I love DDP and just such a positive person to be around. And he's changed many many lives for wrestlers, and that's almost like a bigger legacy. He's done so much in wrestling, but like I believe his legacy is helping others and giving back to the business. And he's just such a positive, great person to be around. So yeah, definitely I just want to give back in any which way I can in the future, because the business has given me everything, everything that I ever dreamed of, and even more. So it would be really really good to give back. Like I feel like I owe it to give back in whatever way that is. I will do it whenever my time comes.